Okay, hey, welcome to a very special episode of Michael's YouTube channel where he talks about stuff. And today's stuff is the DJI Osmo Action. Not the Osmo Action 6, not the Osmo Action 5, not the 4, not the 3, not the 2. No, it's the one, the original OG DJI Osmo Action. A camera from 2019 that you might think doesn't work quite well in our modern environment, our modern workflow, but we're gonna test that out because I've got a new movie that I'm working on right now and I need some BTS camera footage, and this might be the BTS camera for me. Who knows? That's the point of this video. Let's find out. Okay, that didn't work out great. In addition to just not being a very good video, I spilled milk everywhere. That's why there's no shot of the milk actually pouring in. Not only did I spill it, I wasn't recording when I spilled it. I somehow made a whoopsie and didn't record at that moment. So that was my mistake. But overall, you can tell, like, it doesn't perform great in low light. I had to boost a lot of these shots. This was at predominantly 1600 ISO. And I really don't think that the camera performs that well at higher ISOs. It's pretty noisy. Not unusable, however, just a little noisy. And as I said, I did have enough latitude to boost the image a little bit in post. Looking back, I probably would have shot that in 3200, but again, that noise would have been an issue. But you know what? That's not really the point of this camera. The point is to get outside, to go places, to do stuff. So let's go do some stuff. And by go and do stuff, I mean I'm going to the grocery store because gosh darn it, I'm out of milk because I spilled it on my fucking counter. Do 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 do. Okay, putting it on the steering wheel was a mistake. Ah! Whoa, shit. Ah! Oh boy. Yeah, this is... I'm going to the grocery store, that's the point. This is remarkably dangerous. All right, I am bad at doing vlogging in public spaces that are busy, and it's currently New Year's Eve, and I went to the grocery store like a freaking idiot. One thing that does bug me currently, like something that I know is fixed on later iterations of this camera, is the fact that you can only use the front or back screen one at a time. You can't use them both at the same time. You either use the front screen or you use the back screen. Do 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 do. Driving like an asshole, that's me. Oh boy, traffic is a nightmare. It's really cloudy today. It's gonna be a rainy New Year's Eve / New Year's here in Las Vegas, which is uncommon. Oh God. Right now I am at automatic on all the settings. So automatic shutter speed, automatic ISO. I think the automatic looks pretty good, and I feel like it's probably what I'll keep the camera on for the most part for my purposes. I do prefer 24p at a relatively low ISO. That's going to be my preferred way of shooting. But that's not always going to work, especially without an ND filter, which I don't own for this camera. When it comes to just like action cam stuff, what's the point? I mean, it's nice to get that cinematic look, but what I'm using the camera for is vlogging and to use as a behind the scenes camera on my shoots. For that purpose, it could just be an automatic. It does a great job at being an automatic. Just let it be an automatic. At home, I did test out the slow motion. Of course, that is in 1080p, up to 240 frames per second. I was not super impressed with the slow motion. It looks fine, but it is artifacty. And of course, again, it is in 1080p, and therefore it's really not going to fit into a lot of workflows. I'm working primarily in 4K. I'm exporting in 4K. So I really don't want 1080p footage in my timeline. And so while this is a nice, video to have of kiddo having fun and enjoying himself and laughing like a maniac, it's really not that usable, at least not for me. Daytime photos look about as good as you'd expect. It looks like it's a nice image overall and perfectly editable. It looks fine. But I'm not going to be using the photo mode all that much, if at all, so it doesn't really factor into my overall review. Meanwhile, in San Diego, I got a bunch of just general shots. It was never fully daylight, really. It was always a little cloudy. But you get the idea as far as what this camera is capable of. Here's an interior from what I understand to be the world's most haunted hotel. And then out here by the beach, again, you can see it's pretty cloudy, but the image looks all right. It's certainly getting a little dirty, that's for sure. But for example, these rocks look fantastic, very sharp. Here's a van, which just looks cool. And here it is against the Sony. And then here's just a shot from inside a house we might be using for Amityville Bong. This is using just the practical lighting in the room, and as you can see, it is once again very noisy. In Vegas, we went to Ethel M's Chocolate Factory and checked out the Cactus Garden, and as you can see, I tested out the iPhone 15 Pro Max against the DJI Osmo Action, and neither one's doing amazing. The DJI is very noisy, which could also be said for the iPhone, to be honest. But the iPhone definitely beats it out, at least to a slight degree. At least the darks look dark, but gosh, when you put them side by side, it really goes to the iPhone. I also tried some photos. You can see those are a bit of a toss-up, though here this iPhone 15 picture to me looks much better than this DJI Osmo Action shot. I should note that if you do stray from automatic and do change your settings, maybe bring your ISO down to say 800, you do get better shots like this one, which it's very dark around the lights, but the lights look great. I didn't really do a whole lot of comparisons between the iPhone and the DJI. I feel like the DJI Osmo Action really kind of gets the idea across by itself. It's just kind of ugly at night. And while the iPhone isn't particularly great either, woof, the DJI it looks like an action camera from 2019. What can I say? It doesn't quite work out. When we go back inside to the chocolate factory, it does get a little bit better, but you can still see it's fairly noisy. Definitely usable for our purposes, but it's not the best looking image around by a country mile. But that all said, the rock steady image stabilization is really impressive, and I think that is by itself really worthwhile. I didn't stop using Rocksteady once while compiling this video because it just works so very well. That being said, I should probably show you what it looks like without Rocksteady. So this is 3200 ISO at 1/50th of a second with Rocksteady on, just handheld. All right, and this is handheld in two hands without Rocksteady on, just in my shaky old man hands. And you can hopefully see the difference.
What are you doing?
I'm showing them the difference between stabilized video and non-stabilized on this camera. So. And one thing you've probably noticed by now is that when you're trying to focus close to an object or a person or whatever, the camera doesn't do a very good job. Its minimum focus distance is relatively far, and so without a special lens attachment, you really aren't going to get good up-close shots. It's just not gonna work. Instead of the smoothie here, you can see my dirty countertop and these chips. When I'm trying to get this shot of my son, you can see the stickers on my dresser are in focus, and he is very much not. And that is also a bit of an issue, at least when it comes to, say, vlogging, when you kind of expect to have your face all up in the camera's grill. Now, if you're curious, I do keep the small rig cage on the camera at all times. It's not coming off, sorry. I also did take off the flap on the side and lost it. It covers the USB-C and micro SD ports. And yeah, so no underwater shenanigans for us. Moving on, let's talk about the menu. All right, if you swipe from the right, you get the camera settings. You can switch the ISO to auto, or you can switch everything to auto, if that is what floats your boat. You get ISO, you get a max ISO as well, which you can change as needed. ISO goes from 100 to 3200. I wouldn't recommend the maximum part of that spectrum. Another part of this menu, you get de-warp, which will, well, de-warp your image. It will crop in a little bit, but not excessively. Now, if you swipe from the bottom, that gives you your various resolutions, as well as your option for Rocksteady. 4K goes up to 60 FPS, which looks pretty good. You can also go 4K 4:3, which is only up to 30 FPS and does not allow Rocksteady, but that does give you more of the sensor to work with. You also get 2.7K 4:3, 2.7K widescreen, 1080p. That goes all the way up to 240 FPS. Rocksteady is not available, not that it really matters for that, and you also get 720p up to 240. Not that you would ever want to use that. Swipe from the top down and you get these various settings and what have you. Nothing too crazy here, kind of what you'd expect. But if you go ahead and swipe from the left, that gives you your play option, and you can look through all your footage. Yay. Also, if you click down here, you get your various video and photo options. Video includes HDR. You also get something called loop recording. You can do slow-mo, your regular video, time-lapse, and of course, hyperlapse. There's also your photo modes, AEB, timed, and burst, and you can add some custom modes as well. As you can see in this shot of the beach, the Osmo Action looks fantastic in good lighting, even when it's cloudy like this, and even in normal color mode at that. Elsewhere, like in these two sunny shots, the image comes out looking crisp and saturated enough for my liking. For outdoors during the day, this is a solid little camera. You can see, it looks great in proper daylight. Like right now I've got some cloud cover in beautiful San Diego, or wherever the hell I am. But it's, also image quality you can just get out of your iPhone. But what about the other color setting, Decinelike, the precursor to D-Log? So far, all my footage was with the normal color setting with white balance set to auto, although you can manually change the white balance in the menu if you'd like. Setting to decentralize gives you this slightly flatter image. It's not true log footage, but it serves as a solid enough starting point for a good color grade. As you can see, this gives you a lot more latitude to alter your image in post, something I'm not terribly concerned with when it comes to behind-the-scenes footage, but which could certainly prove useful. During a walk downtown, I got these various shots. I also tried out the HDR mode, which does help with the contrast between this giant mantis truck and the sky behind it. Unfortunately, if you're using HDR, you can't use Rocksteady. But back to decentralize, I do think there's definitely plenty of use for this setting, and while the images coming out of the Osmo Action are a bit too sharp for my liking, I could see a quick shot from the Osmo Action being used in a narrative film, say by attaching the camera to a car or something else dangerous that I didn't do for this video. It's not going to replace normal log footage from a proper cinema body, but then that's to be expected. It's an action camera. And as an action camera with something approximating log footage, it does a reasonable enough job. But yeah, does the DJI Osmo Action original flavor, does it still work as a usable camera for, let's say, most of us? I think, sure, with some exceptions. Obviously, it didn't do very well in the dark. Now there's planes overhead. So yeah, it doesn't do great in low light. The audio is surprisingly decent, and when you do have the appropriate light, it looks pretty good. I had a few issues here and there. I don't love that you can only use the screen on the back or the front, not both at the same time. That's pretty lame. And of course, that low light capability, not great. And then slow motion, you really only have 1080p. In 4K, you can go up to 60, but at the end of the day, that 1080p, 120, 240, whatever, is more the sweet spot, and unfortunately, being at 1080, it's not going to fit in a lot of workflows. So that's a consideration. That being said, the chances that you're actually going to find this camera for sale anywhere are pretty slim. So the main point of this whole video, this whole long-ass video, is that pretty much any DJI Osmo Action will do, unless one of the future models or slash past models, whatever you want to call them, unless they have some serious issues, this is a great base model, and all of those should be pretty solid upgrades through and through. So basically what I'm saying is, if you just want some behind the scenes stuff, some vlogging like I do, this or its mini successors are gonna work for you. And now it's raining, huzzah! I'm gonna go away now. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like this video, all that jazz. I'm gonna go not get washed out to sea. Thanks for watching. Just deleting stuff off my camera, because you know I should have done that before I started recording for a trip. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. So here I am in San Diego, beautiful and cloudy it may be, and now I'm deleting various videos off my camera. It's just you and me.